Welcome to Magnet Marketers, our weekly live show where we break down the head, heart, and hand approach to building sustainable growth in your business. During each episode, we share actual client marketing best practice examples, strategies, and tactics that will help you generate real results. Our belief? A magnet always works better than being a bullhorn to attract, retain, and build your brand. Ready to dive into this week's Relationship Marketing Training Tuesday? Well, let's get started. Here's your host, Mike Gingerich and Jessika Phillips. Yay, yay. Hello, and welcome to this week Training Tuesday Live for Magnet Marketers. Our goal is always to help you become a magnet with your marketing versus being a bullhorn. And today it's just Mike and I. We're talking about some social media changes that are important for your business, especially as we enter into this holiday season. Some updates that you may want to know, just digging in a little bit deeper so you can know how to apply them to your business. But before we dive into all the goodies, if we've not met before, hello, my name is Jessika Phillips with Now Marketing Group in the Relationship Marketing System. And my personal mission is to help you love more, give more, and be more through the art of authentic relating. And my awesome co-host, he's Mike Gingerich. He's the president of a web development agency called Digital Hill Multimedia. He's a published author 5 times over, triathlete, runner, biker, and leading business blogger at MikeGingerich.com. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, I'm doing well, and excited to be here today. Excited to talk about all these plethora of new rollouts and all those kind of things. So, but one thing we were talking about being a magnet and not a bullhorn. And today I should have brought the prop with me, but I've got one of those. It's for a chip bag, and it's got and it's got a magnet on it, so you could stick it on your fridge or something like that, So I took the clip and I was moving it across, and boom, this fork attached itself to it. And I was like, oh, look at that. There's the magnet. And I was like, man, I should have just brought the prop in here and showed him again, the magnet attracting.
How it works. That's how it works. I love it. I was talking with a client actually about that, and it was like, you know what? When we start with that, like understanding who our identity is, like as a brand, you don't have to question who you're trying to go after, right? Like the right people, if you just show up, continue showing up in your truth, in your integrity, and like how you want to serve others, the right people will be attracted to you. So I love that. Perfect kind of segue into what we're talking about with these social media changes, because a lot of them have a very similar undertone and kind of leading us into 2022, even though it seems weird to say that. But I was looking, I think we only have like 8 Fridays or something before the new year, which seems super weird. But all these changes that are taking place with social media apps really have a lot to do with a relationship marketing kind of philosophy and approach to doing business. And we'll kind of uncover that as we go through these changes. But do want to say hello to everybody that's joining in with us today. Do let us know that you're watching, kind of where you're joining in from. Good to see you as always, Julia. She says she's excited for the show today. And she says, okay, is anyone else digging JP's yellow sweater? Oh, thank you. Yes, it's I'm on brands. My
And
purple
Julia,
and
doesn't her hair look great today as well, Julia? I mean, can you
I'm
give
trying.
us some
I need a
kudos?
haircut. You guys are making me blush. I thank you. And good to see you here too, Jen. But yes, definitely. Let us know you're joining in with us. We can give you a shout out. And thanks for all the compliments. You guys are making me feel good today. Mike, you look awesome as well, as always. Your hair's always on point.
There we go.
But let's dive into the first update. I want to kick things off with Clubhouse. So Clubhouse, we've talked a lot about it on the show over the past year. We've brought in guests that we've met there. And one of the things with Clubhouse is it's that audio only platform that we discussed, that really audio is one of those things I think we're going to see a lot more in 2022 as well. Social audio, Facebook has it. They've been teasing it out. Twitter, as we know, has it, where we've had Madeline Sklar on talking about that, as well as Clubhouse, where we've talked about that with Judy Fox here. But Clubhouse has had some updates, and we will make sure to share the links in here to the full disclosure of what's changing. But one big thing on Clubhouse that made it a good appeal, but also in some cases sometimes a con, I think, in people's eyes is that it is in the moment only, no replays available. So you're like in live in the moment. So that makes you want to kind of join in so you don't have this FOMO. But
Yep.
also, it's kind of a draw for some because they're like, hey, if I'm going to invest my time, I want something that I can, maximize or replay, because some magical stuff really comes out of these conversations sometimes because you get some heavy hitters in there. Well, Clubhouse is now rolling out not only where you can have room recordings that you choose to toggle either on or off, but also analytical data on the attendees. So not only how many people were in the room, but how many people were listening to the replay. So this is really big for Clubhouse. It says the best of live, but later. They said replays are here. They're so much more than just a recording. Creators can download the audio, which is big because many want
Boom.
to use this for like a podcast. And when you listen on Clubhouse, you'll see all the dynamics of the stage, the PTRs, and the hop from speaker to speaker live now and on iOS and Android. So that's kind of big. For
Huge game changer, I think, for Clubhouse. I mean,
Mhm.
that's significant. I mean, we're talking like really November. I mean, they've been out for a while, but really, I think it started kind of taking off last November. So it's been about a year
Mhm.
exactly that I really feel like the invites maybe started rolling out a little bit more.
Mhm.
And for that to come in there, yeah, and there's Lisa Monk's joining us here all the way from Australia, and she says
Hey,
link pinning
Lisa.
and replays um,
Yeah.
are game changing for some as well. So yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely the link pinning, but just transformative to be able to also record and download that and use that
Yeah.
somewhere else. So that's big. And I think that the analytics is just a natural next step, and so that
Mhm.
helps you understand and look at what's going on in your room more. So
Mhm.
that's a key feature. So they're definitely helping creators in this mode, in these modes.
That's the key word right there. I was just gonna say, you can kinda see the mindset of where they're going by what they're offering up, right? Like, they first opened up to anyone can create a group where you can join in,
Yep.
and now it's they're offering the analytics and the download of the replays, which is big because that is saying, "Hey, I'm focusing toward creators." And I really feel like a lot of these social platforms are doing just that, because not only are they focusing to creators and giving these extra features, but also we're seeing kind of a monetization, not on Clubhouse yet, but a monetization of creators. So it's like we're paying you and tipping you what your value of your content is. And I see just this overall kind of shift I'm really excited about of for creators overall. So I'm excited to see where Clubhouse goes with this, but this is the first natural step, as you said, in them kind of focusing on creators and really what brands want as a whole. So yeah, let us know what you think of that Clubhouse update. I did put the link in there. We also will have all of these changes because we're going to go through these kind of rapidly. But if you want to learn more about them and some others that we probably won't even get time to mention all of them, please type the word recap if you're joining us on Facebook, or type the word recap wherever you're watching. And we'll make sure you get the link to get the recap blog sent to you tomorrow in your inbox. Mike, you want to hit the next one?
Yeah. Let's turn the corner and head to Snapchat for a little bit. So Snapchat's always been a kind of early leader in AR, augmented reality. Think of that as I like to say sometimes for simplicity, additional reality. Because think of it as you're there and you're adding things to yourself, or whatever. So Snapchat has been a leader in that, and they're just kind of continuing to take that next step and keep in step with the edges there, and basically they've announced advancements to their AR, which is it's tremendous. And try on tools pointing to the next stage of online shopping. Right? Yeah. I mean,
Snaps.
try it on. So basically,
Mhm.
kind of work like this: open Snapchat, scan the snap code, choose the items that you want to try on virtually,
Mhm.
and boom, cop the drop, make it there. You know,
This is huge. Like, I mean, I can't even. explain how exciting this is,
Let's do
not
it.
just because Snapchat's doing, but because, like you just mentioned, they're an early adapter. So
Yep.
what they're doing will slowly kind of transition to everything
The
else. And I'm telling you, that's
Instagram, the
another
TikToks.
big thing for 2022 as you start thinking about where does our brand need to go. And we've talked about this a lot. We're having this as a theme for Social Media Week Climate 2022 is co-create. When you think about engaging your customer in the buying process, like if we're going to be talking about live shopping and some of those things here in a minute, but trying on your clothes, eyeglasses, what hats, whatever it is, like that is a really cool thing. Like we've worked so much more, I would say, with VR this past year, and I see this rapidly advancing. Like one of our clients right now is doing it for training. They have VR that they're having so people know how to use the tool, and they're using it for training because COVID, right?
Very
Like
interesting.
you can't be hands-on with people, but also your many brands are struggling to find team members to bring on. So if you can free up someone and have somebody training virtually to give them feedback and reinforcement throughout the process, how much better is that training, right? Instead of them just watching a video, it's giving them muscle memory. It's giving them, involving more senses. So now they're going to remember things. And also a client where they're building out a new development here in the area. So we're creating a virtual environment for people to
Okay.
imagine it, right? And step into it. And that's what this is doing. It's allowing you to see yourself wearing the clothes, get that feeling, get more senses involved. So smart on Snapchat. But
Yeah.
even if you're not a brand that's using Snapchat, it's like paying attention to these things and thinking, how can I make my buying experience for my customer or whatever it is, training, buying, experiencing more immersive using some VR? So, lots of good comments coming in. Lisa
Yeah.
says, Snapchat and I have never really became friends. Me either. I'm not cool enough. But again, it's really checking out what they're doing and thinking they're early adopters. Now you got a little bit of
Yeah.
time to see. Mhm,
Yeah, just like you said before, Jessica, because if it's there, it's gonna come
mhm,
elsewhere. So I know
mhm.
Lisa spends a little bit of time on places like Instagram, so it's
Yep.
gonna be there. So this is kind of like your forerunner
Mhm,
on that now, and this is just an advancement of kind of what they've been doing because I in ad campaigns, which I haven't run any in Snapchat, but in ad campaigns, you already could do some makeup pieces,
mhm,
some glasses. Accessories, jewelry, bag, purses, those types of things. So this is kind of that next level of that,
mhm,
trying to make it simple, trying to roll it out further, trying to keep those advancements going. And I'm thinking this is going to be important, and it's a crossover again because you see some of these big conglomerates going like this is a Snapchat thing,
mhm.
but couldn't you see even an Amazon wanting to do this and needing to get
Absolutely.
there fast, and they're trying as well. I've
Mhm,
seen so it's convergence. Everybody racing for the e-commerce dollars from your
mhm.
mobile phone.
Yeah, for sure. I know Amazon already has like, will it fit in your home with like rugs or, furniture, things like
Yeah,
that. This is just that natural progression, right? Like, and it
yep.
makes
I want
so
to like
much
put it
sense.
on. I want to button it
You
up, and I
never
want to
know.
see. Okay, is that going to fit?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be wild.
Because when people they list their sizes as like centimeters of the chest, whatever, like, can you
Yeah,
just
yeah. When was the
wait,
last
what?
time I?
Yeah. I don't know. It's like
Yep.
giving me directions in north, east, south, west. I'm like, just tell me right or left. I don't know. Like, I don't know. But yeah, no, this makes a lot of sense. And continuing on that thread of
Yeah.
shopping and experiences, I've seen this a lot with different brands trying out live video to then include again a co-creation kind of inclusion of your customer in the buying experience. Well, now Pinterest has launched Pinterest TV, where they're allowing and doing this. Where I'm going to share the link here.
Yeah.
where they're starting out on Fridays. And they said, today we're announcing Pinterest TV, a series of live, original, and shoppable episodes featuring creators right on Pinterest. Pinterest TV episodes are refreshed each weekday and will be recorded and available for pinners to view on demand and save and rewatch later. The new series of shoppable focused live stream beginning on November 8th, so just a couple days ago, will give pinners the opportunity to take up exclusive deals in the app via engaging immediate live streaming broadcast. Sounds like they're kind of following the Amazon. Amazon did the Amazon TV where it's shoppable there. Sounds like they are now keeping up with that. So super smart move by them.
Yeah, no, I think just interesting again because that's the second time now we've mentioned Amazon, which started in the e-commerce store realm, where these other ones started in the social media space, and now you see this merging going on with social shopping and AR and all of these kind of pieces, like TV. So very interesting developments there. Pinterest moving forward. So yeah.
Speaking
That's
of
exciting.
which, before we move on to the next one, in social and shopping, I was meeting with a group of friends for Halloween, and one of them is a e-commerce brand, and she sells her clothing online, and she just linked in everything with Instagram and Facebook shopping and all that, and making it super easy to shop. And I was telling her what a great job she was doing, and she said, you know what, Instagram has been great for me. She said now they're actually offering my customers, her customers, for her
Okay.
coupons to shop with her on Instagram that is coming from Instagram. It's not even coming from her. Like,
Okay.
they're giving her customers coupons. So it sounds like really a lot of these social platforms are in the game of keeping people on the platform,
Yes.
purchasing from them,
Yep.
using their transactional fees is probably where they're getting the money, as well as ads. But something to think of as a brand, like if you have something for sale, like don't make it hard to do the checkout, right? Like,
Don't.
see how you can include it and incorporate whatever you're selling right there on the platform. I know I get alerts all the time, like, hey, you left some stuff in your Facebook card or Instagram card or whatever, because I'm looking at things and maybe add it and maybe not check out then, but I'm getting reminded to go back, and it's a lot more friendly than going to a website, because I want to shop where I'm hanging out, you
Right.
know?
Yep. 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 You don't want to bounce around and then okay. What do I have to re-enter? Oh, you forgot where I was at. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Seamless.
Lisa says,
Yep.
I have been receiving those ad coupons as well. Great.
Okay.
Good.
Australia's out there. All right. So we
I
ready to move
love it.
on?
Let's do it.
Okay, so in
Mhm.
this one, not technically a social media update, but again, we're
Mhm.
seeing this mix, and this you gotta talk about Google and Google, obviously, with what 90 some percent of search, and as we've talked about even recently, just how the evolution of their Google Maps on the mobile device has come into play. One of the most important things is for any business is their Google listing, and there's some changes coming to that. Number one, they want to make it easier for you to claim your listing, okay? Because this is Google's claim. They're trying to get in because again, the scenario we talked about in the four is that more people, myself included, are opening the Google Maps app and doing a search. And I'm trying to find whatever it is, a store, restaurant, that type of thing. And so Google is trying to enhance that experience, making it easy for small businesses to enhance that experience. So first off is to be able to claim it, to verify it. So then second step is they want to make it easier so that, if we've claimed our Google listing for our business, that we can make updates and edits to it right in Google search or in the Google map listing itself. So they're trying to make that quick, simple, and they're rolling out some changes there. I don't want to confuse you with this, but they're doing some name changes. I mean, so the important thing to keep in mind for small businesses is that Google My Business, come to know it as, is being renamed Google Business Profile. Again, it's thinking a little social profile, that type of thing for your business, where again, they want you to be able to keep up information, hours, specials, that they're enhancing that profile piece there. And trying to so when you're on the web and you're doing that, or you're in the app, the Google Maps app, they're trying to enhance that and make it easier. Um, Update things, roll pieces out, more options within that, more metrics within that. Um, New metrics on inbound customer calls that came from your Google business profile. Again, so showing you, everybody's trying to show value. Everybody's trying to say, stay here, get them here, enhance what happens here. So I think Google just staying in the game, but I'm particularly interested in that evolution of Google Maps and how that's becoming more useful for businesses with that Google listing.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with some of the features that they have in there with which is messaging, like you mentioned, and calls. I love the new layout that they have as well. Like they'll allow you to put more of your photos and your services kind of laid out strategically on your profile. And when you fill out the profile completely, which they're saying they're going to kind of nudge you a little bit more on, you have a better chance of showing up to the top of the search results, but also to utilize some of the additional features that they have available, like the messaging. So if somebody has a question on something, right, like, do you still have this in stock? They can message into your profile, similar to like just messaging into your Facebook business page.
Yep.
These are easy, available, free features that you should definitely take advantage of as a business, especially as you enter into the holidays, because nobody wants to go fight with the crowds and all that if it's something that's not going to work for them. So just turn it on, right? Easy to call you. All of these features are really built into your Google profile now. So you can take advantage of that as well as holiday hours as things change, things like
Yes.
that. Really good to know. And then definitely make sure you pay attention to the insights. When you sign up for this Google My Business profile or whatever the new name's going to be, you get insights on where and how people are getting to your profile. So, where are they coming from? How are they getting to your profile? Like, what words are they searching? Right. Like, and then when you see that, what devices they're using, this gives you good insight to say, maybe I can change some of my
Yep.
keywords. Maybe I should feature this more, but definitely pay attention to those insights that you're getting from these results. Because as we mentioned on, what was it, 2 shows ago, social, local, mobile, it's really kind of what things you should be paying attention to as it relates to looking at online traffic to your business and what your customers are looking for.
Yeah, and just as you said, search results. I think that it can't be
Mhm,
understated because I mean, if you're doing well with your website and you can come up, near the top as well, and now you can add to that with your Google
mhm,
listing. That's a powerful thing because remember, that if somebody is going to try to find you on Facebook, okay, so they're going to have to
mhm,
type in something or something like that to find your business page on Facebook. Go over there, then they can message you, that type of thing there. Um,
mhm,
but with Google and the search, maybe they don't know your name, but they know their product they want, and
mhm.
they know the location, and you meet that criteria, so your business comes up. They didn't know your name, but there you are, and because you filled that out, and so Google's going to reward filling that out, and your listing can just rank higher. You can be found, discovered, and have those
Mhm.
tools, a la messenger messaging, all those kind of pieces right there. Track phone calls, very interesting.
Yeah, so good. I was in the market for a hot tub, so I'm looking like hot tubs in my
Nice.
area, and then the brands that came up, and then it was nice, the ones that had photos with it, right? So, like, I ended up working with Eversole Pool and Spa in our area because of like their details that they had listed out and all that they had there. So,
Yep.
it makes a big difference.
Boom. And you just said it right there. That's, again, we come back to that.
Mhm,
They made it easy for you. Again, more
mhm,
people in your area sold hot tubs than just one.
mhm.
However, they differentiate themselves by that ease, that just giving you that information helped differentiate them.
Exactly.
Boom.
Making it stupid simple. That's the key. Making it stupid simple and engaging, right? So, like, I was able to ask them a question. They responded promptly. It was great. Like, that's what you want, right? So, you don't want to just set up these things and then have the messenger turned on, but not responding to them.
Right.
right? Like you definitely want to make sure somebody's home, right? Like to answer the questions and things that are coming in.
Yeah,
So if you're a brand that thinks you can just add this on to somebody that does, that's good at computers or whatever, that's not the case. You do need to have somebody really uh, as a customer delight expert or someone that you really have dedicated to your online profiles, because this is a big part of the shopping experience. I'm sure you already know that now, but it's only going to continue to grow. So something definitely to pay attention to.
absolutely.
So moving a little bit outside of the shopping, but still in the heart of engagement and building rapport
There you
with
go.
others, Instagram launches Add Yours stickers to facilitate more engagement in stories. They're trying to get, again, rapport, relationship building, people to engage. Because a lot of people will watch stories, but they don't often reply to them unless you're asking for it. But now you give another way of replying. So Instagram says here, let's read exactly what they said. So, well, I guess I'll just read what this story says. It says, when users respond, they're added to the profile bubble listing on the sticker, which is then tapped, which enables users to go through all the other responses on the thread, building a response chain within the stories that help prompt more engagement. So it's kind of like TikTok's duet feature, which, many people see by adding, like, you can see who's duetted who, but this creating a long interactive stream of content based on the original theme. So you can now create a story, basically allow others to respond with a sticker, or you can think of many ways of engaging with this, but people can now they're going to be prompted to
Yeah.
respond to your stories and your content, and hopefully get more engagement along the way. They shared a study on here, which I will put in the comment thread here, and we'll also include in our recap blog, so you can see the difference in engagement on stories when you have some of those prompting features. It definitely is making a big difference, but it's asking for it, right? And it's giving creative ways of people responding in order to do this. But Julia says exactly, so similar to a duet. And Lisa says, I don't want to miss her comment. I believe the Google Photos post now last longer than a week. Every local business should be posting often. Really good point, Lisa. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, but going back, and I'll come back to Instagram. Sorry to go back to Google for a minute, but Google My Business, Google profiles are so important for a business to take uh, just ownership of and really utilize it. That's something at Now Marketing Group that we include as like a social profile to manage. Most people don't think of it like that. They think of it as like a set it and forget it. But really, there's so many features there, like sharing photos and posts, but also events, sales, offers, like everything right there. You can make it like a post, and it comes up next to your Google profile. And now they used to only last for a week, and now they're expanding upon that. I'm not sure if that's everywhere. I'll have to look where that has rolled out for longer extensions of that. But the good part about it is it shows up right next to your profile, and you can always reshare something if it's lasting longer. But how great is it if you have this special offer, an event that you're trying to do, you post it, literally a post in your profile, and it shows up next to your map. People can take advantage of it right there. Super smart. Thanks for mentioning that, Lisa. And going back to Instagram here, definitely a way of just creating more engagement, right? Like the more that you can prompt others to get involved, co-create, connect with you in what you're sharing, the better. The more rapport you're going to get, the more engagement, the more awareness, the better the relationship building.
Yes. All right. I'm going to move on
Yeah.
to Meta, otherwise known formerly as Facebook. And so one of the, and this is co-creating in a way. So basically, Meta is reportedly planning to open retail stores. Retail stores, which would come naturally with the metaverse to sell VR, AR, other digital connection tools. So, and I think that's kind of a way of co-creating, because Facebook is creating this environment, and then have to have people come. And so if you have a retail store, you make it simple. You let them put, equipment on VR, that type of thing, experience that, kind of get into it. That they need to get people experimenting with this. What better way than a retail store? So you've been in the Apple store, you've seen, attraction pieces there where you want to go, you want to touch, you want to feel, you want to test. Now, Facebook, looking at of retail stores coming, VR headsets, AR glasses, portal devices. Jessica, you got one of those, right? And more. So this is probably going to come first off some of the big cities. Obviously, New York is going to be on that list there, and beginning to roll those pieces out. But I think definitely makes sense. Has to be a step in there if they want people to adopt this. You got to get immersed in it. What better way than to make it accessible, easily to try, to test, to get in there?
You're spot on right there. It is, once you try it, then you become a believer. I think there is like this barrier to entry with this unfamiliar, just it seems so far removed from what an average experience is with mobile devices. But once you try it, you're kind of hooked, right? Like I just experienced this yesterday with a client of putting on the headset when we were talking about setting up that training environment for them and demoing it for them. They were like, oh my gosh, now they realize all the possibilities. But it does take that demoing and trying it out
Yeah,
first. So super smart of them. Once you can put your hands on it and realize how it works, then you're a believer, right? So it just makes sense for them. I love that they're doing that. I
yeah,
can't
yep.
believe it's already 4:30 Eastern time here. So we were going to share one last update, and we have others that we're going to be sharing in the recap. So definitely type the word recap if you want this sent to your inbox. The last one's one we've kind of been mentioning and teasing really for almost a year now, because Google has been teasing it for that long, but it's Google's new algorithm update. It's launched, it's live. You've probably seen the impact on your analytics. If you haven't seen it, go look. It's definitely, I'm sure, there. But the Google Core Vitals page experience update has rolled out now, and they are definitely ranking now more on just the overall experience of your website. How many people are going there, relevancy and authority, how many people are sharing it, but it's not mattering on page count of words anymore. It's not, all the same things that we're used to with, the pillar content with this large index of authority for the word count and what's being mentioned on it. Now, granted, those things are still important, but there's so much more that they're ranking as a higher importance, and it all has to do with the overall experience and utility that you have built into your website. So definitely a big update. We're going to have more on that. And of course, link the changes that Google's mentioning here with some examples of how it affects your sites. They also have rolled out a new test for Google, speed tests and things like that for your website. That makes a huge difference in your scoring as well. But really, it's all about how are you providing ease of use, speed, utility, accessibility to your brand from your website. So it's making a huge dent in some of those SEO results for sure.
Absolutely. I mean,
Mhm,
it was a significant change. We always talked about algorithm changes. We talked about
mhm,
Penguin in the past, that type of thing. This one is big, and most people were not going to see a jump in their rankings unless they had everything fine tuned. They were going to see it go the other way. So it's
mhm.
important to take a look at your core web vitals.
It's
It's like
it's
your
a big
vitals,
update
just
when
like
Google gives you
medals, right?
like 18 months to make the changes to your
Yeah.
site. So,
And they roll it into Google Console, and they give you
mhm.
these maps. They tell you all these things, and they're just saying, "Yeah, this is
Whole new
important,
Google
boy.
Analytics,
Roll
like
this
there's
out."
all kinds of changes there. That's a whole other topic for another day. Speaking of which, we will be back here next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to dive into our next topic, and always to keep you ahead of the curve and to act like a magnet with your marketing versus being a bullhorn. But let us know what questions you have, what you think of some of these changes, any others that we didn't mention that you would like to share as well. We can include you in the blog recap again that will be published tomorrow afternoon. And if you want that recap, type the word recap below. I'll make sure it gets to you. But wow, Mike, this time flew by super fast. So
Sure did. Plenty of updates. Hopefully that's helpful, folks.
yeah, hopefully until next week, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you right back here next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Till then, see ya.